In this video we will create an assembly. First we will open existing document, so I click that button, and I will open my styling engine that we have created earlier. First of all, we will create an assembly of this 3D scene. So I will window select, click the left mouse button here, and then drag to get a window, select all visible parts in the scene. And if we come over to the scene browser, we will see that all parts that are visible are selected. Of course, except those who are suppressed, and we don't want them in this assembly. Then we can come over here to the Assembly tab to select Assemble, but we can also right-click the selected parts in the scene to choose Assemble. And I click this button. Then we come over to the scene browser. I will click the Assemble name, or this name, twice so that we can edit the name, and I will type Styling Engine and hit enter. Now we have created an assembly of this 3D scene of all parts. Then we will create a 2D drawing. I come up here to click this button, New, and Drawing. I'll click OK. And from this dialog window I will choose ISO A3, and when I choose ISO, I will use the first angle view projection. If you want to use the third angle view projection, you have to choose one of the ANSI templates, for example metric or inch. But I will use ISO and A3, and I click OK. To add views to the drawing, we come up here to click the Standard View button. And in this dialog window we see the preview of the styling engine, because the styling engine is open in the background. So if you want to, for example, if you want to create a drawing, a 2D drawing from another part, you have to come up here to the Browse button to find another part. But in this tutorial we will use the styling engine. These buttons are used to rotate the view. If I click that button, I will rotate the view in this direction, and we'll rotate that view so that we see the engine from this angle. And you see also that the engine is highlighted in yellow, and that's because the engine is selected in the background. This one is for rotating the view vertically, and these buttons are to rotate the view in that direction. But we will have the view in this direction, and also that will be the front view, so I'll click the front button. And I want a view from the top, so I will click the top button. We come up here, we'll see the auto scale is selected. We will let IronCAD to choose scale for us, and configuration it will be default, so I click OK. And I have my two views here. Well, I think the views are too small for the template or for the drawing, so I will click the front view. And then when it is selected, we see that there is a red border around the view. If we come over to the property browser, we can change the scale, use standard view scale, and I will change that to this one. I think that's more suitable for the drawing. I will select the other view here, and I will move the view, so when we hover the cursor over the red border, we can press and hold the left mouse button and drag. I can only move this view vertically. I cannot move it horizontally because this view should be placed perpendicular to the front view. But the front view we can move in any direction, and when we move it, the other view will also follow. If we zoom in a bit, we will see some information, M4 for example, and also M3. That's because we checked a box when we created the holes, checked a box where it said thread call out to 2D drawing. When that box is checked, we have the information on the 2D drawing, and we see that it works. Well, then we want to add bill of materials to the drawing. And to do that, we go up to the Annotation tab, and here we find Bill of Materials. So I click that button, and I will choose Assembly Bottom Up. If we see here, use configuration, it says include suppressed objects. Well, I don't want the suppressed objects to be in my bill of materials, so I will select default. Bill of materials, parts only. I click OK, and we have the bill of material here. So I will move the bill of materials here I will grab that node and snap to this intersection. If you see that if there are some parts that are missing in the bill of materials, that's because there is a box that is not checked in the 3D scene. I will show you. I'll go back to my 3D scene, and if we come over here to the property browser, or scene browser, sorry. If I click the cylinder, right click, come to part properties, we see that bill of materials include this shape in BOM, or bill of materials. If that box is not checked, it will not be in the bill of materials. So if you check it and then update the bill of materials, you will see that in the 2D drawing also. So I will click cancel, and I will also save the scene because I see it's not saved. Click the save button. Go back to my drawing. Well, then I want to add some item bubbles to the drawing. So I click item bubble. I will zoom in a bit. And when we hover the cursor over a part in the 2D drawing, we will see that it will have a gray color. It is selected. When I click this crankshaft, we have a item bubble. I will click and place it there, and this number corresponds to the number here in the bill of materials. Crankshaft number 2 we see here, and I will continue to add more bubbles here to that one. Also click the pillar, the flywheel, the railing, and also the mounting plate. And you can also, if you want to add some information for the screws, for example, you have to add an item bubble to see that this is the screw I want to select. I will click that screw, have my item bubble, and this is the washer, like so. And I'll click OK. I can select that item bubble and drag that outside the styling engine, like so. Well, then it's up to you to add more item bubbles so that you will complete the assembly drawing. If we come down here to this part to see the information on the drawing, first of all I will double click the scale text box. I will type 1:2, and also you see here title, and you have also document number. I said earlier in the video that if you fill in the information about the part number and description, you will have that information here on the drawing. But now you see only this number and the title. Well, I will click OK here to end this editing for the scale. Well, first of all, we have to add more information to this assembly in the scene. So I will click this front view. You can also click this button or this tab to go directly to the 3D scene, but I will select the front view. When I have done that, I right click. I can also click edit scene. Then the camera will pointing in the same direction as the view on the 2D drawing. If we select this assembly and we come over to the property browser, we will see that this username is now selected. When it is selected, I will right click the name to copy, and I will paste it here in description, and then part number will be 100, and I will hit enter. Let's see now. Then I will save the scene. I go back to my drawing. And when I go down here, I will change the information here now for the document number and also for the title. Now this template is not connected to the 3D scene. Later on, I will show you how to create that connection for a template, that it will be connected to a part in the 3D scene. But in this case, I will show you how you can use the information that you have in the 3D scene. If I select this text box, now this will be the drawing number or document number. I will right-click the text box, click Properties. I will delete this value. Then I come down here to click the Part Number property button, Property Name, and the property name in this case will be Part Number. And you see the formula here: collect information from the part in the 3D scene. So I click OK, and we have the drawing number 100 that we have in the scene. We'll do the same with the title text box. I will select the text box, right click, click Properties. I will select Part Property, and I will also select Property Name. In this case it will be Description. You see the formula, click OK, and you have Sterling Engine. Like so. And drawn, well, you can double click this text box, and I will use my initials to place it there, to type it there. And also checked this date, you can double click and fill in the right date. But there is also, you can create a connection with the information, and that information you can right click, get the properties, current document, and here you have created date, for example. So there are many possibilities to use the information that you have in the drawing, and it will be filled in automatically here in the 2D drawing. Well, then I will click the Fit Sheet button, and I will also save this drawing. Click Save, Sterling Engine ICD, IronCAD drawing. I will click Save. And we have created our first 2D drawing in IronCAD.